Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to do a video today as a 6-month update for the YouTube channel and also the Facebook channel. I'm actually here out in Los Mochis at a restaurant called Stanley Sports Bar. It's absolutely beautiful out here. We had actually filmed one of our days out here for the documentary when we came back here later that night and actually ate here. That's how I found out about this restaurant. And right now I'm in Los Mochis. I was out here at the end of last month with my amazing team filming the documentary. And we finished up and we went out to Puerto Penasco for about 2.5 weeks. And I came back here to Los Mochis in order to finish editing the documentary with my team. Magdalena, our camera girl, is actually going to start filming weekly video logs with me because I'm at the point in my life now where, now that the lockdown's open, everything's opening up right now, and I want to start traveling again. And to be honest with everyone, you know, before I went and filmed the documentary, okay, for those who caught on, you know, the nonprofit was at maybe 15,000 likes. The YouTube channel was just starting, and you know, I was renting out through a family member. You know, I was paying, I think, $600-700 a month in rent. You know, I was paying all of my own bills and, you know, all of that. But it wasn't about the money, you know, it was about helping lives and using, you know, the knowledge I had to, you know, jumpstart the YouTube channel, which is where, you know, we first started to, you know, change lives. We started to cure diseases. You know, I started to teach physics and psychology, and the response we got to the YouTube videos, you know, was enough to keep me going. And it was my camera guy Paul that actually got me into trading cryptocurrency and trading, you know, in the stock markets. And I went out on a limb. It was called the post, or the halving that was coming, where all of the Bitcoin was going to be cut in half, the supply. So the supply was going to be cut in half, the demand was going to go up, and without going into the technicalities, Paul basically convinced me to buy it. And it's not a lot of money, but I put in $5,000, and basically it turned into $8,000. And I got to see, and I really started to dive into the technicalities of day trading. And long story short, 7 out of 8 of my test runs, I guess you could say, for the stock markets as a day trader, I predicted perfectly with no trading experience. And that was when I started to realize, you know what, this could really turn into something special. And this is all while the lockdown was going on. And I'm very, very grateful, you know. Is this okay here? Gracias. I'm very grateful that Paul did convince me to get into trading because, you know, things have not been the same. And before I filmed the documentary, you know, I could have easily, you know, taken the cash out. I could have, you know, went the other way, and I would be in the Bahamas right now, you know, probably on a yacht or something. But, you know, instead I wanted to stop. I wanted to film the documentary. I wanted to continue giving back, you know, who I am to the world. You know, and building a legacy instead of chasing money, because it's not about the money at this point in my life. And like I said, you know, we've cured everything from autoimmune disorder, thyroid issues, lipedema. Another lady, you know, was going to have wrist surgery, and we cured and fixed that with our subliminal affirmations. And I've studied the subconscious mind, you know, my entire life. And I've studied psychology my entire life. And it's amazing to be able to actually really, I think we're at 305 subliminal affirmations now, and I'm really starting to discover things about the subconscious mind and physics that nobody else has discovered yet. And we just keep curing diseases right and left. I think someone had what was it? There was another mainstream disease that we just cured the other day. But you get the point. And as far as the documentary goes, we're finally going to release that, I would say, in about 2 weeks. And from there, we want to go to India, and we want to film a documentary in India, and we want to go to Afghanistan. And we want to focus on the countries like Mexico, which is why we came to Mexico, that have a bad reputation, you know, with the mainstream media. When that's not what 90% of Mexico is like and 90% of India is really like, which is why we started to film these documentaries, you know, to connect cultures around the world through the good side of things. And as a major update going forward, now I'm going to be living out here for about a month, and I'm going to focus more on the subliminal affirmations again. And like I said, I'm actually going to be hiring one of the translators, Paola, to be my assistant, and she's going to actually start cooking videos. She's going to teach you guys how to cook traditional or Mexican dishes for free. And like I said, I want to start the weekly video logs and take you guys along for a lot of the adventures I'm going to start having, a lot of the traveling I'm going to be doing. And I want to step away from like the food for thought videos or the, you know, educational, you know, success, whatever you want to call them. I want to step away from the self-help guru side of things. And like I said in my other video, instead of teaching people and telling people how to live their lives when they're already going to go out and, you know, have to learn the hard way, or they're going to have to learn themselves, instead of telling people how to live their lives, I want to actually take action and do something with our subliminal affirmations, with the documentaries. Instead of telling people how to live their life, I want to lead by example and actually produce actual work. Instead of telling you guys and preaching to you guys like a pastor, I want to actually go out and take action and have something for the world and actually have a legacy instead of just talking. Because when you die, no one's going to remember the words that you preach. People are going to remember the action that you took. And that's the 6-month update. Like I said, guys, we're going to start weekly video logs on our YouTube channel. All of you guys on Facebook that aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed, because we're going to start those weekly video logs soon. The documentary is going to be releasing, I would say, within these next 10 to 14 days, which we filmed out here in Los Mochis. You know, we worked with firefighters, nonprofits, animal rescue, police officers. There was a lot of fun. We were driving by a cave when, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of bats were flying out, and we got all of that on film that we're going to put in the documentary. We were out here actually in this ocean. We were able to actually touch a dolphin and actually rub a dolphin up close in person on a boat out here. So tons of cool stuff like that's going to be in the documentary. We got a lot of GoPro footage of us swimming in the ocean, riding horses. All of that's going to be released, like I said, in 10, 14 days. Then we're going to go to India, hopefully sooner than later, depending on how the lockdown goes. And like I said, I'm going to head back to releasing 2, 3, maybe even 4 subliminal affirmations a day. We've already taken out hundreds of thousands of dollars from the pharmaceutical companies, or the dark pharmaceutical companies, and that number, I would say, by the time we hit our 1-year anniversary, because we're at 7 months right now, is going to be over $1 million. 2, 3 years from now, it's going to be in the tens of millions that we take out of the pockets from dark pharmaceutical companies. And that number is just going to keep going up, guys. I love all of you guys. I thank you for all of the support. This is our update. I'm going to dive into some food here.